Hey everyone, it's Mystery Girl with Missy, and I'm Missy. Today I am bringing you to my hometown, Lake Ronkonkoma, Suffolk County, Long Island, New York. I'm going to show you how in my town girls had fun. But before we do so, make sure you hit that like button and help me get my videos out in that algorithm so others can find them and enjoy them as well. Thank you as always for your support. I was born in the 1970s in a town called Lake Ronkonkoma. Yeah, try pronouncing that as a child. Forget about pronouncing it, writing it was ridiculous. So we always had to break it down, and it's Lake Ronkonkoma. And it's in Suffolk County, which was organized November 1st, 1683, one of the original counties of the province of New York. Originally East Riding of Yorkshire, Suffolk County, 1975. Long Island is broken up into two counties, Suffolk County and Nassau. I grew up in Suffolk County, which is more rural, have more homes instead of big apartment buildings, more farmland. If you go out east, that's where the wineries are and all the farms. So I grew up off of exit 60, which is Ronkonkoma Avenue in Lake Ronkonkoma. And I absolutely loved growing up there. I was born on 11th Street in Ronkonkoma, and I lived here until I was about 3 years old when we moved. In this general area, there was just so much in, say, walking distance. I mean, there was delis, there was the church, there was towns. Right here is where I actually learned how to ride a bike, which was right across the street from my house. And I did pretty good at first, but everybody has their falls. I actually had a nickname because I had a riding motorcycle, and my nickname was Motorcycle Mama. So it's kind of funny. But I have such great memories of 11th Street. Growing up, I always drove down there. I mean, I know I only lived there until I was 3, but I guess your early years are your best years. Lake Ronkonkoma, this right here that you're looking at, is one of the biggest and most beautiful lakes, but it also has an urban legend behind it, which we'll go into in a later video. But over here is where I actually learned how to ice skate. And even though I did have a couple trips and falls, I actually was pretty good for a while. Lake Ronkonkoma was an area that people used to say vacation at, so it was all cottages that people rented for a long time. This was my church. This is St. Joseph's Church, and I just remember how absolutely gorgeous this church was, and is, I should say. It is huge, and as a child it overtakes you. These pictures that I'm showing you now are just areas that I remember, when my mom would drive us around. You have your hardware store, your ice cream store, just such fond memories. This was the original firehouse for Ronkonkoma. And the reason that this has such great memories for me is because as a child, when it would snow, we would go there and we would go behind the fire department where it was these steep hills, and we would go sleigh riding. We had so much fun behind that fire department. It was ridiculous. This is the Ronkonkoma train station where we used to have to go and pick up my father, and we used to wait for the trains to come in. And Slater Drugs was I guess you could say the pharmacy at that time, and it was there forever, and it closed only a couple of years ago. The Good Steer, oh my God, my godmother, my aunt, we'd go there all the time for burgers, and unfortunately it went out of business. But if you wanted the best burgers and onion rings, that was the place to go. This right here, Handy Pantry, growing up I used to walk there all the time. And this is my elementary school. The elementary school I went to is Chippewa Elementary. obviously named after Indian name. The elementary school went from kindergarten to 6th grade. And then after 6th grade, you went on to junior high. We had so much fun as kids. We had hopscotch, jumping rope. We played hide and seek all the time, and a game that we used to call Ghost in the Graveyard that we would play at night. But riding bikes, playing on the swings. We did so much. We were always outside, always. Do you guys remember these slides? You would get on there with a pair of shorts in the middle of the summer and you would burn your legs. But me, I love singing. And you could always find me singing as well, whether it was indoors or outdoors. Sagamore, that is my junior high school. And I went there from 7th to 8th grade. I obviously went to Sachem. So this is Sachem South, which was 9th and 10th grade. It was broken up because there were so many kids. And this is my high school, Sachem High North, 11th and 12th. I never liked school. I'm not gonna lie, I never liked school, I should say. But I want to share some of my favorite places in Suffolk County with you guys. So again, growing up, we did a lot of things. We went roller skating, and we used to go to a place in Centereach, which is maybe about 15 minutes away from Ronkonkoma. When I moved, when I was 3 years old, I met my best friend, and we're still friends to this day. And we used to go roller skating. This was the movie theater at the time. I remember seeing Flashdance there, and plenty of the older movies, but we still had drive-ins. The drive-in we had was Patchogue, which was the closest to us. Bowling, I was on a bowling league as a child. Me and my best friend, we were always on a league, and it was a lot of fun. We loved bowling. We looked forward to it. We used to bowl at the Lake Ronkonkoma lanes, which I couldn't find a picture of, but we also bowled at the Patchogue. And for a while there, I was pretty good. Howard's Cafe is like a little bar burger place, and this is actually where I met my husband. My friend set me up with him, and we have been inseparable since that night. So don't ever say blind dates don't work, because it's now 26 years later almost, and we're still together. So after we went to Howard's, we went to Nappertandy's in Centereach. This is the one in Smithtown, but we went there and we had some drinks, and the rest is history. One of my favorite places to go to was Port Jefferson. Port Jefferson had bars where all down the road where you can just go, and we would go to Billy's. This here, the Starbucks, used to be upstairs. There was a club called JK's. We used to go there all the time. It was great for dancing and having a couple of drinks. But we also had the ferry, which went to Connecticut. So, I mean, around my area of Ronkonkoma, there was just so much. This is the area of the ferry, also in Port Jefferson. Just so beautiful. The best florist to ever go to is Perry's Florist. They make the best bouquets. And if you're looking for a beverage shop, Thrifty Beverage in Ronkonkoma off of Julia Goldback is, forget it. If you want people that are going to help you, that are super nice, that are friendly, this is the place to go. And there's a deli right next to it. Best egg sandwiches you'll ever get. My favorite food places and my favorite restaurants. I gotta say, there's someone here that you all might go, oh my God, are you serious? But Bruno's was a pizza place. They had, like a bar inside, but they were, oh my God, delicious. Gino's Pizza, which is still around on Portion Road in Ronkonkoma, was one of the best pizza places around. But look at the difference in the price of pizza. It used to be like $4 for a pie at the same restaurant. But this is Gino's now. And like I said, it was one of my favorite pizza places. We would get from there almost all the time. There was another place that we got that I'm going to show you in a few minutes. But yeah, I love pizza and I still do. But White Castle was the place to go after going to the clubs. And we used to go here all the time after we went to Mary's grave. But yeah, White Castle, oh my God, I miss White Castle. There's none here in Florida and it sucks. Mama Lombardi's was and is the best Italian restaurant. Others will say Brancinelli's, but I personally liked Mama Lombardi's better. Brancinelli's is delicious, but Mama Lombardi's, maybe because it's where my family went and it's just kind of where I have the, the history and the memories. But you're looking for good Italian food, you gotta go to Mama Lombardi's. You also have to go to Brancinelli's. That's in Smithtown. But you want good food, that's where you go. Pizza Stop is another pizza place that we used to go to. I absolutely loved their Sicilian pie. It's funny how some places can make one thing better than the other, and Pizza Stop was the place to go to if you wanted a good Sicilian. Cedar Beach, which is in Mount Sinai, we used to go out on the boat all the time, or we would go down there and just go for, a tan. Smith's Point Beach, I actually remember making sand castles as a kid on the beach, but you could also go on your ATVs down there, which we had a blast. Corey Beach, Blue Point, is where I got engaged. My husband proposed over the radio, and it was absolutely the most romantic thing ever, and I will never forget that night. Robert Moses is one of my husband's favorite beaches, and so we would go there all the time. I'm not one for the waves. I used to love jumping in the waves, but the older I got, the less I liked it. But I love, the beach, and just, it's gorgeous. I don't like the beach anymore, but the beaches here in Florida aren't half as big as the ones in Long Island. But guys, thanks for going for a trip home with me, and just remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on part 2, where we get into the Native American background before we get into the urban legend of Lake Ronkonkoma. Take care, guys. See you soon.